And after weeks of campaigning, it all came down to tonight.
Judge Chris Taylor defeats Maria Lazar in the race for state Supreme Court.
And WISN 12 has a team of reporters covering it all for you this evening. The campaigns, the ballot counting, and exclusive insight.
The Associated Press calling the race for Judge Chris Taylor just 36 minutes after the polls closed here in the state of Wisconsin. She is the liberal-backed candidate in this race, and you can see the numbers here on your screen. 60% for Judge Chris Taylor, 40% for Maria Lazar. Now, Judge Chris Taylor speaking to supporters just a few minutes ago, delivering that victory speech.
And that's where we find 12 News' Kendall Key. She is with the campaign there tonight, live in Madison. Kendall, give us the insight. What's the vibe like now in the room?
Well, Blake, she just took the podium behind me minutes ago, and the first thing she said was, "We did it, Wisconsin." She also said that she spoke to Judge Maria Lazar on the phone. Lazar conceding the race. Now, the results here tonight, what we're seeing so far, secures Taylor's spot on the state's highest court for the next 10 years, solidifying the court's liberal majority. The room here behind me has been packed. All of her supporters eager to hear her victory speech. We saw multiple different people here, including County Executive David Crowley, all of them packing in. It was shoulder to shoulder here behind me. When she took the podium, she thanked her family, she thanked her supporters, and she also thanked the people of Wisconsin.
People are hungry for a judiciary that prioritizes them, that protects our rights, that affords all Wisconsinites equal justice under the law. That is exactly what I will do as your next state Supreme Court justice.
Now, the crowd here behind me certainly celebrating here tonight. Taylor will officially join the bench in August.
Live for us from the Taylor campaign watch party in Madison tonight. Thank you, Kendall.
Judge Maria Lazar delivering her concession speech within the last hour.
And Lazar called the race the honor of her lifetime. Take a listen.
I don't think that I've run this race for no purpose. I think that this race was run so that people in this state from now on will know that judicial races are not political races.
And 12 News' Emily Pofall is with Lazar's campaign in Pewaukee.
Now, Emily, you spoke to Lazar one-on-one right after that concession speech. What did she tell you?
Right, guys. Yeah, good evening. Well, you can hear kind of how the atmosphere here is different from what you just heard from Kendall. It's much quieter here. But in my conversation with Lazar, she was still very upbeat. She says that she's still proud of the race that she ran, even though AP called the race in less than 40 minutes. She says she's proud of the fact that she ran the race above board. And she also says she thinks that this race shows that judicial races should not be political races. And as you mentioned, I did get the chance to talk with her one-on-one right after she gave her concession speech to her supporters. Would you do anything differently?
Well, I think the most important thing I'd do differently was have a different end result tonight. But in all seriousness, I think we have to look at how we run our judicial races, and I think maybe that's something that I can help out with in the year to come or the years to come. And I think that we have to reassess how we're doing this, what we're doing, and what we're telling the state, because I still believe there were a lot of people that didn't know either candidate enough, and I think we should change that.
12 News hosted the only debate between the two candidates, and Lazar to me says that she wishes she would have gotten the chance to debate more around the state. She says she thinks there should be minimum 3 debates whenever there's a Supreme Court seat up for grabs. Again, this is a much more quiet and subdued atmosphere. People are kind of disappointed, but Lazar says that she's ready to get back to work on the appellate court.
And we know that debate that happened here at WISN was less than a week before Election Day, so definitely time was of the essence when it comes down to getting to know the candidates. Emily Pofall live at the Maria Lazar party in Pewaukee. Emily, thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in 12 News political director Matt Smith.
And Matt, you're getting a county-by-county look at the race results, so bring us up to speed up to what's happening.
Let's look at exactly how this happened tonight. A 20-point spread with 85% of the votes in this evening. Chris Taylor with 60%. Yes, this is a nonpartisan race, but Democrats and liberals backed Chris Taylor, Republicans and conservatives backing Maria Lazar. As we take a look, this is what the statewide image is, but let's zoom in a little bit to show you how this happened in several key counties. Let's start with Dane County. This is Judge Taylor's home county with 84%. That's a sizable win, even outperforming what Susan Crawford did last year. Let's look at Waukesha County, a key stronghold for conservatives and Republicans. With 94% reporting, Maria Lazar with 54%. To be honest, in this county, if you are a conservative or a Republican that's not named Donald Trump, you're going to need at least 60% in Waukesha County to help you offset what Democrats and liberals are doing in Dane and Milwaukee counties. Some other notables that we are tracking at this hour: 92% reporting in Ozaukee County, one of the wow counties for Republicans. Chris Taylor is currently winning Ozaukee County with 51% of the vote. That has tightened a bit from the last time we checked. There is 92% reporting. This would be huge for Democrats and liberals if she ends up winning Ozaukee County, but there is still 8% to come in that county. Jefferson County, this is a critical one as we look at exactly what is happening tonight across the state. Chris Taylor wins Jefferson County with 52% of the vote. There's 97% reporting. Maria Lazar with 48%. President Trump won Jefferson County with 58% of the vote. There's some sizable flips going on in this county as we take a look at kind of the central part of southeast Wisconsin. Milwaukee County, another key stronghold for Democrats and liberals. Chris Taylor with 74%. Susan Crawford had 75% here. There's still 84% reporting. We're going to get to Central County in a second, so this may widen or tighten a bit. It's going to be interesting to see these numbers. Maria Lazar with 26. To be honest, that's a decent showing in Milwaukee County for conservatives. So we'll see how this ends with all of that. One other region I want to point out before we send it back is northeast Wisconsin. As we take a look at the map, in terms of the Green Bay region, Brown, Outagamie, Winnebago, Appleton, Oshkosh, Chris Taylor's winning all three of those counties. Maria Lazar would have needed to win those counties, and to be honest, win them by a sizable amount to be competitive. With 85% reporting, that's somewhat of a snapshot, guys, to give us a sense of why we have such a massive 20-point lead. There's still numbers to be coming in, but this is starting to shape up to be what it looks like the final results are going to be this evening.
And interesting numbers, too. We know this past week in the Marquette Law School poll, the latest was 50% of voters were undecided. Yeah. So it's interesting to see those numbers coming in tonight, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, especially to see them coming as quickly as they did. Election coverage continues at Milwaukee's Central Count.
And that is where the process of the city's absentee ballots is underway. It's a very detailed process. 12 News' Rhea Spigner has been there all night. She joins us live now. So, Rhea, any issues to report as the count continues?
You know what? Not right now, which is some really good news. This process started at 5:30 this morning with a staff of 150 people setting up to make sure that things go well today. And that's not to mention all of the observers and volunteers who have been here, who have helped the absentee ballot counting process. But we spoke to the executive director, Paulina Gutierrez, earlier today, who told us that, again, this is a tedious process, but she tries, as well as the staff, to make sure that the process gets better and better each year. What are some things that you implemented this year that you felt like made it run smoothly?
Yes, definitely. So as you can see here at Central Count, we have a new cart system. One of the best parts of the cart system now is that when a ballot is counted, it no longer moves. It stays in the public view for the rest of the night. This also allows us more efficiency. It's very open. You can see what wards are being counted and what not. So I think we're really proud of that.
A well-oiled machine here. Again, we had 27,000 absentee ballots come through here. That is significantly lower from the 50,000 last year, but that just allowed the process to be a lot faster. So again, we're about an hour out from that final tally where they take that information and send it over to the courthouse. So we are waiting for that process to be done. Back to you guys.
And we will be there every step of the way. Rhea Spigner reporting live at Central Count in Milwaukee.
Let's get to some more local races. Several cities are also electing mayors tonight. In Waukesha, there is no incumbent on the ballot. Voters choosing between Scott Allen and Alicia Halvin-Slavin. You can see the results coming in, reporting about 99%, so still 1% remaining. Alicia Halvin-Slavin at 51%, and Scott Allen 49%. Keep in mind, this will not be called until 100% of the vote is in. Let's go ahead and take a look at Franklin now. Incumbent John Nelson going against challenger Basil Ryan. You can see here John Nelson with 43% of the vote, Basil Ryan with 32%. A write-in write-in 24% with 95% of the vote in so far. And over in Brookfield, it is a race between incumbent Steve Ponto and Mike Hawquist. You can see here 100% of the vote is in. Steve Ponto is declared the winner there with 56% of the vote. Mike Hawquist only getting about 44% there.
Now, 72 school districts are asking you for your money tonight. Let's take a look at the school districts here. In Whitefish Bay, voters rejected a $135 million request to build a new middle school and new renovations at other schools. If we take a look at the number here, it's 100% reporting. So again, that decision is a no with 52% over 48%. In Waukesha County, voters saying yes to the Lake Country School referendum. The district said if it did not get this money tonight, they may have had to dissolve. 100% reporting the yes with 64%, the no's with 36%. And we are scrolling all of the results at the bottom of your screen. There are a lot to cover. Dozens of other local races and results posted right now on the 12 News mobile app.